Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, John with the GamerDuo here, welcoming you to the third part of Danganronpa the AU Trilogy. Of course, we are exploring Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. Of course, if you guys don't remember from the last two uploads, it is an alternate universe. This will contain spoilers to the actual game because we have to think of a canonical reason for things to happen the way that they do in the wheel. Of course, I'm super excited to see kind of what turns out and how it turns out, because I can see this one being the craziest one in terms of like how or who dies when and what. This is also the game that's freshest in my memory as of recording, so this is going to be even more interesting as well, I would hope. This idea was from Weeby News, so if you guys do not see the iCard, which you should, it is up in the top. Go ahead and check her out. Let us get into this, though. Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony AU Trilogy. Of course, we're going to start off with our protagonist of the story. Who the heck are we going to be playing this game as? I swear I have a freaking feeling we're going to have some interesting situations. So, our protagonist in the story is going to... Oh my god, no. Rantaro is the protagonist of this story. So we're getting this from the alternate perspective completely. I'm okay with this. So Rantaro is the ultimate survivor. We do know this. We do find that out, of course. We're the one given the ultimate survivor book. Of course, being given that ultimate survivor book, we have to question everything that we've been given, but we don't have the ability to just feel like we're happy with everybody. Of course, we want to find out who we're trusting and what's going on, of course, as Rantaro, and being kind of the quiet but also intellectual that we are. We do not want to remove Rantaro. I can definitely see us kind of looking and surveying on our trust people, and at this point, because it's so early in our head, we don't have anybody. It's just that it doesn't matter, right? Like, we could talk to somebody, but we can't divulge any information because we don't want, like, this game of cat and mouse to kind of go forward. And as we're sitting there deliberating on our decision making and trying to figure out kind of how things are going to happen, Monokuma just goes, just so you know, you got 2 days until like somebody has to kill, or else I'm going to kill you all. And, you know, as that progresses, we're just sitting here like, the Monokuma is way more involved than the last one. What the heck? Monokuma, what are you doing? We see the Mono Cubs, we meet everybody, and we just don't have anybody that we can 100% trust yet. And the Mono Cubs we don't, of course, trust either, because they're the Mono Cubs. So, and we don't have any recollection of that. So, who ends up going to be the first victim is going to be the crazy thing. Of course, we will keep the groups of events kind of staying as they were at that point. Everybody's kind of half and half and kind of meeting up with each other at this point, trying to like just formulate a way to not get a kill in. But of course, somebody is going to traitor and get the first kill, and the victim actually is the first one. Well, killer's next. Victim number 1 is... No, I'm not happy with either. Okay, so somebody killed Miu first. The ultimate inventor, the one that was hiding away, which again makes sense. She's the one that was hiding away and being the most quiet. I mean, Shuichi got help, and some people got help from her, but... So, who ended up killing Miu? That is a big thing, and why? Who, what, when, where, why? Oh! Okay! Kokichi! You identified her as a threat immediately and got her out of there. Okay! So, I'm surprised that Kokichi is gonna be the one that enacts this first kill. I know he wanted to end the killing game and get this all situated and started, but, you know, for the ultimate, like, supreme leader, I feel like him dying or getting the first kill is, yeah. The way that we're looking at this as Rantaro, we're like, this is more suspicious now. Like, the two people that we viewed as smart are the two that are gone, and that's just not necessarily how we wanted to go about it. We 100% expected Kokichi to be the super smart and not do the dumb things, and he did immediately. And so our trust is still shaken. With our trust still shaken, we got to figure out kind of how we're going about this and what's going to happen. Gonta is being a very, very kind, genuine individual who just wants to show us everything that's going on with their collections and the entomology and all of that. Kaido at this point is also trying to lighten our spirits, lighten the mood, figure it out. Angie over here though is like, okay, y'all, we got to figure out like a way to stop this already. Two of our smartest people are gone. How are we gonna stop it? Like, and all of this. And of course, Himiko following Angie just is like, yes, we gotta stop the killing. I want to be passive and not have to worry about things as an individual. And then you just have Maki and Shuichi that are just like, Maki is just hidden away. She doesn't want to be part of it. It's fine. And then you have Shuichi, who's just like kind of obliviously walking everywhere. And again, nobody to really trust at this current moment. Gonta's one of our good trusty buddies, and we are getting kind of closer to kind of talking about a little bit of other things, but we don't have too much to really divulge into. Of course, nighttime strikes and things go awry, and as things go awry, somebody's got to discover a body. More than likely, we discover the body. Being drowned in the pool, and it is Samugi's body. Ooh. So Samugi's body is in the pool and just dead, of course. Now, with it being Samugi, we're like, what the heck? So we have the ultimate cosplayer, and she's gone. And it's like, who the heck did you upset? Why did you upset them? So who she upset, though, as they drowned her in the pool, was Himiko, as that was not under her own discretion. Atua told Angie, hey, you might as well get Samugi out of here. She needs to go, and you can be the blood sacrifice to Atua. And at this point, she started kind of praising Atua anyway, and like second-handedly doing it. So she just, she had to make the kill. That's what she needed to do. This is how she needed to go about it. And, lo and behold, in an alternate universe, things might have played differently for you, Himiko. But in this universe, you are gone. And we are going to go ahead and remove you and Samugi from this list. And we are into chapter 3. Of course, chapter 3 is the double kill chapter. So the very first kill is dead. And then the second killer, or the second killed, can be yourself. Because in this chapter, Monokuma said the first kill does not matter. It does not matter who killed first. It is only who killed second that matters. And of course, with that being said, who in the heck died first in chapter 3? Things were going on. Student council was happening. They needed to break shit up. Kyo! Ooh! Little bit of reverse engineering here, as Kyo is the first body to be discovered in this chapter. A little bit of a role reversal. Who was the one that, or I guess who was victim 2? Angie! Ooh! So did Angie murder herself? That's the question that we need to figure out. Because did it end up being like a double murder where they killed themselves? I mean, I could think of that in that way, but who ended up killing Angie to get this Atua cult stuff out of the way? Kurumi! Okay, so Kurumi, our maiden to see, was like, hey, we need to get like this cult BS out. Get out of here. I'm so glad you killed Kyo, because Kyo was definitely like a crazy individual, and like I started to understand that and feel that, but you know, you are too, and I need to make sure that everybody in here is safe. And so with everybody in here being safe, we have to make sure things go right. And making sure that these go right means that I have to sacrifice myself in order to try and keep my besties alive. And she, in fact, did that. So, that is who we have left as our final like 8. Of course, we're in the virtual world. So now that we're in the virtual world as Rantaro, it didn't get messy or as manipulated, as things are still like problematic weapons and items and things are still in the area, and things aren't as broken and as messy as they were in. And it's just like, we don't know what program we're in, so we feel safe. We feel like we're at the sanctity of our, like, we have sanctity. That's what I mean to say. And so now we got to trust our boys, right? We got to trust Gonta and Kaido, as Gonta has been kind of that sweet gentleman this entire time. And so being the sweet gentleman that he is, we go ahead and tell him, hey, we were the ultimate survivor. We survived the last killing game, and in surviving the last killing game, we just gotta make sure that, like, we band together. We need to stick together, but we also need to figure out a way to neutralize the killing game and figure out how to get it over with. Of course, at this point, we both know that it's not gonna be over with, but we gotta, like, keep hope alive and everything to make sure that it'll be A-okay. As we don't know who the mastermind is. We don't know who anything is. We then travel over to Maki and start kind of divulging this similar information to Maki, as she's been quiet and to herself and reserved this entire time. But her and Shuichi have been partnering up and doing things at nighttime, and we know that. But if Shuichi understands this information, that's fine. The people we're actually really worried about right now is Kaede, Tenko, and Kaido, because they, like, yes, Kaido pseudo knows what's going on, but they also are kind of this throuple kind of situation, and it's like, why? What is going on? And so if Kaido knows what's going on, then the throuple knows, and when the throuple knows, everyone knows, and then the target will be on our back for the likes of Ryoma and Kibo. And once Ryoma and Kibo find out, that is when peril is going to strike for us. So we gotta keep it quiet. And honestly, they are kind of on our target list. However, we don't want to kill anybody, but we need to make sure that we sneakily kind of do things the way that it is. So in the virtual world, we needed to claim our kill. Not us necessarily, but we basically plotted out that a kill needed to be happening in the virtual world. Everybody kind of knew that that was going to transpire at some point. So who ended up being the victim of the virtual world? Virtual world victim is Maki. So Maki being the virtual world victim is definitely something that came to a complete shock to us as Rantaro, as she's been the quiet one. So yes, being the quiet one does lead to being suspicious, and I get that. However, we had to figure out the virtual world murder. So who ended up killing the quiet Maki in the virtual world? None other than Kaede. And, you know, Kaede was one of the ones that we were worried about, because we knew that she'd start getting sus of people and sus everywhere. And so knowing that she's gone is a good thing for us. However, we still have 2 people in the throuple, and we have a lot of people that are still super duper questionable with what's going to happen and what's going to go on. So, of course, into Chapter 5 we go, and honestly, there's a lot. Everything shut down. We find that there is a potential way out. However, it's actually not a real potential way out, as Monokuma does end up letting us know, hey, nobody's ever going to be able to survive out here. So, good luck. You are doing things for nothing, and good job. Congratulations. And so because we're doing things for nothing, we all kind of feel ridiculous. We feel like we did something stupid. The only person that doesn't feel that is Kibo, which gives him a distinct advantage in the chapter, as since he's not like able to feel that despair too gratefully right now, because the antenna to the outside world is telling him, hey, what are you doing? Like, why are you upset? You can't be upset. You're not allowed to be upset. You got to figure out a way out of the situation, whether that means killing somebody and murdering somebody and plunging it further into despair, or whether that means trying to get the team out for hope. Gonta is one of the more depressed ones. Same with Shuichi. As Shuichi had been trying super hard to get us out. However, he has not been able to really help with that. And now with his bestie Maki being gone, pitted him into further despair and literally kind of incapacitated him for this entire chapter. You can't talk to him. He's blocked off. Everything is just unfortunate circumstance. Of course, Kibo does end up going on. I guess what side does Kibo end up going on? That is a good question. So the chapter 5 murderer, as Ryoma is just kind of, again, he's kind of just chilling too with Tenko. Tenko is part of that. That throuple is actually turned into a couple. So interesting that the degenerate male hater is the one that it is with one of the interesting males in the game. But it's okay. Because, you know, there was a multitude of reasons for her not liking the men, and there's a lot more involved in that. So with that being said, though, let's go ahead and see who the murderer of chapter 5 ends up being, as it is Shuichi. Yep. So his anguish has plunged him into a part of despair. Oh no, that was the victim. I was hoping. I guess maybe I was secretly hoping that he was not the victim and he was the murderer. But yes, so he's the victim of chapter 5. Maybe though, this is going to be the first case of something crazy happening. So let's go ahead and spin who the killer of chapter 5 was, as Shuichi. Oh, we did it. Okay, so I wonder, did we just give up on our dreams of making it like go forever? Like seeing that the anguish that Shuichi was under, did we end up just throwing in the towel? Like, that's a crazy thing for us to do in chapter 5, but I mean, in this case, then the mastermind ends up kind of winning, and doing the thing. And honestly, I could see Kibo being that. Like, the outside world in and of itself is the mastermind of this game, as it's chapter 6. So, yeah, so who ends up masterminding this whole thing? Like, because we trusted Gonta. Gonta is who we put our trust in. You know how much of a backstabby thing it would be if the person who we put our most faith and our most trust in was the mastermind? Of course, Kaido also was, like, trying to lead the charge, but I don't know. I just see Kibo as the mastermind in this situation, for sure. There's a very high likelihood we finally get our first male mastermind, as well. So the mastermind of this, of course, all these characters are going to be moving on to the All-Star game. And honestly, the All-Star game is going to be fun. We got some characters in there that are like both up and down and left and right and everywhere. So let's figure out who is our mastermind. No! Wait. So that's... Gonta strung us along until the very end. He made us trust us. Or trust him. And we did. We fell for it. Chapter 2, we trusted this man. And we were like, okay, you know what? we're going to kind of start divulging information. We're going to start doing things. Chapter 4, we unload everything. Tell him the world. So that way the next chapter, he finds a way to get us to backstab ourselves to get us out of there. Oh, and in the process, making sure that Shuichi, the only person that would be able to put a true stop to this, is gone too. Wow. Okay, Gonta, you are smart as hell, dude. You literally let us divulge all of our information. So that way... Wow. Wow. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. Gonta, you crazy mofo. You let us do that. And, you know, we're out here. Like, he definitely is out here. Of course, in the All-Star game, I gotta figure out some motives and situations and stuff and things. So, I know that a lot of the times I freehand it, but I don't think I can really do that in this. So, I think the next one you guys will see is Danganronpa, the Hunger Games simulation, where if all the characters went into Hunger Games, who would end up coming out on top, because that would give me a little bit more time to figure out kind of what I want to do and how I want to go about it. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching the Danganronpa AU Trilogy. Of course, like I said, Hunger Games for Danganronpa is next, and then after, it's the All-Star match, and seeing who ends up being the 5 characters that stay alive throughout the entirety of it. Only 5 characters will remain. 2 protagonists are still in it, by the way. And the dual protag story, I think, is going to be crazy, because I think in this case, we might have to bounce. Like, we can't bounce protagonists, but that energy, the energy that's going to be there with both of them is going to be crazy. We finally have a strong man, and it ends up being Gonta. But dual protagonists, triple masterminds. I can't wait to see kind of how this plays out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, Anara!